I now give the floor to the representative of Greece.
Thank you, Mr. President. At the outset, I would like to congratulate Panama for assuming the presidency of the Security Council for the month of August, and to thank you, Mr. President, for convening this emergency meeting. Congratulations also to Pakistan for a successful stewardship of the Council during the month of July. I would also like to thank Assistant Secretary General Jensa for his briefing, and I welcome the participation of Ukraine, along with Lithuania, Poland, and the European Union in this meeting. Mr. President, the war in Ukraine has reached an inflection point. Russia escalates its attacks, reinforced with weapons and munitions by its allies and with troops by DPRK in violation of Security Council resolutions. Day after day, Russia continues its attacks also against residential areas, causing more human suffering and destroying civilian infrastructure. During these last 3 days, missile strikes have claimed dozens of civilian lives in Dnipropetrovsk, Zaporizhia, Kharkiv, and just yesterday in Kiev, using loitering munitions and cruise missiles. Pregnant women and children are among the casualties. We deplore the reported use of new lethal weapons, such as rocket-powered kamikaze drones against civilians in residential areas. June has seen the highest monthly civilian toll in Ukraine, and this alarming trend has continued in July due to attacks not only close but also far from the front line. Once more, Greece condemns in the strongest terms any attacks against civilians and civilian objects as clear violations of the basic principles of international humanitarian law, and calls on Russia to immediately cease the targeting of residential areas and infrastructure in Ukraine. Adherence to these principles constitutes not only a legal requirement, but also a moral imperative, and should go hand in hand with accountability for the perpetrators. We stand in solidarity with the Ukrainian people in these trying times. We also commend the work of OCHA, UNICEF, and other humanitarian agencies active in Ukraine, and we are calling for their full, safe, and unhindered access to the affected areas. Mr. President, Russia's war against Ukraine has to stop, as repeatedly stressed by the majority of the UN membership in multiple General Assembly resolutions. These blatant violations of international law should not be allowed to become the new norm. Greece welcomed the 3 rounds of direct bilateral talks between the two parties and the agreements on exchange of prisoners, but regrets that these agreements were the only tangible results in the course of 5 months. The human toll, as well as the rest of the devastating consequences of this war, at least of recent months, would have been avoided had a ceasefire been agreed following the US-led peace efforts. Mr. President, this war must end. Too much time has been lost. We repeat the need for a full, immediate, and unconditional ceasefire without further delay as the first step towards a comprehensive, just, and lasting peace in line with international law and the UN Charter, and in full respect of its most fundamental principles: sovereignty, political independence, and territorial integrity of all states. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Greece for their statement.